Hey traders, John Howell here, officialjohnhowell.com. In this video we're going to have a look at the indices in the US to see exactly what's been happening and what we can expect moving forward. So let's get straight into it. Do not place a trade based on what you're seeing in this video today, because trading is risky and it can cause substantial financial loss. There are so many areas you need to become good at to become a good trader. Emotional mastery, chart reading, trading systems, money and trade management. So this video is just educational only to help you become a much better trader. Alright, let's get straight into it now. Let's actually talk about what's actually happening in the indices. And what we can see here on this chart here is I've got two charts. I've got a daily chart up here. Okay, that's more of like a 3-month view, and then down the bottom here we have like a daily chart as well too, but it's squeezed up as much as I can on this chart. And the first thing that I do see here is you can see how this market's had this big rundown through here, and you can see it through here. It's had this big rundown through. This is the Sp500, and you can see how it's had this big thump move down through here, and it's ran back up, and then just sort of just gone sideways. And it's looking, as you can see, it's looking very, very weak. It's just looking very, very weak. You can see here it ran up to about 50% retracement, came back down, came back up, and now it's trying to head back down again as well too. So it'd be very interesting to see what happens. It'd be very interesting to see what happens tonight, as when the market actually opens up with the Sp500. Now looking at the Dow Jones, very, very, very similar, as in. You can see, obviously, with the Dow Jones, you've seen that the markets continue to roll it over. You can see that what's happening on the Dow Jones. You can see how we had this down day here, sort of 1.6%. You can see very closely here. But this could be also creating like a bit of a triangle pattern, so to speak. But it does look very, very weak. We had this big move down, and now it's just sideways here. And I'm actually seeing that we're likely to have a big move down again. Now, maybe not straight away. It might go sideways for a little bit, but that's what I'm seeing on the charts as well too. So I'm seeing here on the Russell as well too. Russell actually looks very weak. You can see like it looks like you got that bit through there. But if I just delete that off through there and that off through there, you can actually see that we're actually got a bit of probably a bear flag formation happening on the Russell as well too. So as you can see that, and you can definitely see that on the Russell as well too. So we're definitely hitting this area of resistance up the top here on the Russell. We can see how it ran up, struggled once, struggled twice. We're at this area of resistance. We get a decent breakdown. Then I say we actually run down to the bottom here, which is around about the 110 mark on obviously the Russell here. So on this chart here. So that's what I do see on the Russell. Looking on the Nasdaq as well too, guys. You can see same thing as most indices as well too, because of the big sort of thump down through there. Now it's just gone sideways a little bit here as well too. To me, guys, that screams very bearishness at the market. It's struggling to go higher, and the market's struggling to go higher. You had this big sell off here, and then the buyers, you can see, especially in this chart here, the buyers are not very strong at all. Okay, so when looking at the charts here, you can see that the buyers are not very strong. You got this big seller strong movement, but the buyers are very weak through here. You can see how this sort of bit through here and this section through here. The buyers are very, very weak, and they're not really showing a lot of strength. So I'm actually saying that the sellers are likely to come back in and hammer this to the downside. Looking at things like gold as well too. Gold is looking a bit more weaker. Overall, you can see that if I have like a bit of a trend line down through there, you can see that that's what's happened. If I draw some trend lines down through there you go there. If I bring that up through there, you can also see that. Let me delete some of this stuff off the screen here. But you can see what actually happened. This is where it's at right now, in this sort of slightly sideways channel here as well too. But long term, you can see how it ran up, hit this rejected this resistance, and now it's trying to falter down as well to sort of hover down as well too. So that's what I do. That's what's happening on gold. And obviously oil Oil had a big, obviously a massive run to the high side, from the lows to the high. You know, we're talking about, you know, almost a 30% increase in oil, and that's what's happening through there. So anyway, guys, that's a bit of a market update for you guys. The bottom line is, guys, out of this video, I do see the Dow Jones once again looking very, very weak. Where it is right now. We had this big strong selling move down here. You can see it here on this chart as well too. Big strong selling move, very weak buys. I'm seeing a lot more downside to come. All right, guys, that's it for me. Remember, success can be yours if you go claim. So step up, take massive action, and face your fears today.